I am here with actress Trisha Mann-Grant, which it is a huge pleasure to interview you. There is not a minute that you are on screen that my face is not planted right at it. To wait to see what you are going to do or say, or that draw when you talk, to get every little morsel out of each word. I love it.
Wow, Brian, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be with you, and we'll have to talk about that draw later. I
Yeah.
want you to imitate it. I need to hear what that sounds like
That
to
was
me.
about as good as you're going to get. Yeah,
Draw.
I have to tell you, characters like yours either get a really great reaction or you're killed off immediately.
Ooh.
Because you're too all over the place, and I love it. You just eat that scenery, every scene you're in. I just love it. What has it been like for you to play Leslie, Dana, all the peoples that
Anna,
been
Lulu, Sherry.
all
It's
of them?
it's listen, it's the most exciting ride of my life thus far.
Mhm.
And grateful has become my second middle name. So every time I even think about complaining about the most minute thing, I check myself and I stop and I go, girl, please. You, you are so blessed right now. This is so amazing. You're able to play a role that you can take yourself and others on this roller coaster ride of emotions, and I have seen people post things where they're literally yelling at my character on the post and screaming at me. Not that that's something that I think I would enjoy, but personally, but understanding the dynamic of who Leslie is and how she can make somebody want to come through the TV and choke her. I completely understand the reaction that this character gets.
But on the flip side of that, there are also emotional moments for you when she is hurting that are very genuine, and you can really tell how hard you work at the trying to make her tough, but yet when she's vulnerable, being
Yes.
strong, but also vulnerable too.
Yeah. Oh, she is vulnerable. And I think if people can get past all the evil that she's done, they can scratch the surface a little bit and see that layer of pain and sadness and hurt and just here's the thing, it's her response to the pain that makes it a little crazy. If she responded like a normal person, and I don't know what is that,
What is normal in this day and
is
age?
normal, right? And so if she responded in a more mature way, let's just say mature way, then it might be a bit more bearable, but she just has to go to the extreme of reacting to the other people in her life
That's what
that
makes it so fun to watch, though.
I know it
Like
makes
when
it.
you're in my soap opera brain, she has undiagnosed dissociative identity disorder. And these people are all identities, and you're going to figure that out at some point and be like, this is what's been happening this whole time. So if the writers come up with that, I got to get that residual check. Um,
It was your
that,
idea
it was my
first.
idea. So Michelle
Right,
Valjean, that
right, there you go.
Brian in Jersey. But no, you do bring several layers to it, and I love the way that Leslie toys with the characters, especially Kat. There is something special about when that happens, and only insofar as the actress playing Kat
Yes,
really,
Colby.
Colby does a really good job at being an antagonizer, and it's just like, oh, one day you just want her to like, but then you get arrested, and that's gonna not be fun.
No, but do you really think Leslie should get arrested? I
Heck
mean,
no, no, she deserves to be slapped. She's a little too sassy for her own good, but she's funny.
right, right. She's funny. And I'm sure a lot of people watching now, they're like, yes, she needs to go under the jail. But I mean, come on,
Oh, no, no,
guys.
no.
Listen. She didn't kill the girl. The girl is still alive. You know,
That's
Laura is
it.
still alive, played by Destiny. Destiny does a wonderful job, by the way. And I mean, yeah, it was bad, but if I really wanted to take her out, don't you think Leslie would have
You would.
taken her out?
And you went to the hospital to see her, even if it wasn't like the nicest visit. You still went.
I went and I
I'll
propped
defend
her head
Leslie.
up with
Yeah,
the
I'll defend
pillow.
Leslie to the death. because I
You-
love her and she's so much fun. And it just is such a nice, um, it brings a nice, distinct difference between the rich and high and mighty Duprees
Yeah.
to see someone who struggled.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and that's the great part about it. And you're going to see a turn of events that I'm pulling up my tripod. I just decided maybe it would be better if I actually pull it up, but it's not working with me. There we go. You think that's better?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. So here's the deal. There will be a turn of events that I think you, especially being a Team Leslie fan, will applaud to, that's coming soon because we're so many episodes ahead of what you guys are watching. So I have to be so careful because I know they'll beat me.
Yeah, we don't need to
I can't
not,
tell it.
no, no, don't say a word. We need
But
much more people
I,
on the show.
yes, I love the future of what's to come, and I love the writers because they are so unpredictable, and not only making Leslie unpredictable, but in their writing, because I don't know, just when I think I've got it
Same.
as a writer, just when I think I've figured this thing out, and I'm like, oh, this is what's going to happen next, they go somewhere else, and I'm like, oh, okay, wasn't ready for that, but love it.
Yeah, I feel like everyone is just a toy in your cat paw, and I love it. I love when you're batting them around. And I have to say a big testament to you as well when they recast the part of Ted. You didn't skip a beat. There was no like, oh, I need to get used to this new actor. It was just like all Leslie all the time. It was great.
Thank you. And Keith is great. I mean, I love me some Maurice too. Maurice and I had a great chemistry, and I truly miss that. But at the same time, Keith brings his own unique creative style of playing Ted, and I appreciate it. And he's a great actor. And listen, kudos to him because my God, that's rough to come into a show where everyone is already wheels up and doing their thing and feeling comfortable, and now you've got to catch up and try to fit in, and then have to deal with the fans that truly love Maurice. They're like,
Yeah.
who's this new kid on the block? So, you guys give him a break, cut him some slack. Keith is coming in and has done a wonderful job, and you'll see.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Soap fans are loyal and
Yep,
great, and they're also very strongly opinionated.
true.
That comes across sometimes a little over harshly. Uh,
Yeah, trust me, I know. As
we're all
Leslie,
people. We're
I know.
all people doing a job, trying to get by.
That's all. It's just a job. I
Yeah.
just wish sometimes they remember she's an actress playing a role. Because when I meet them out, like I was at the airport on the train in Atlanta, that takes you to the baggage.
Yeah.
And this lady said, "Oh, I just want to choke you sometimes." I mean, that's usually the introduction is how they want to lay hands on me. And then after talking to me for about 30 seconds, they're like, "You're doing a great job. Keep up the good work." And I'm like,
Like
okay,
maybe we should
just
lead
don't
with,
choke me.
in today's day and age, we should lead with the compliment and then say it makes me want to choke you how good of a job you do. Order matters now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I concur.
Amazing. So what's it been like digging into the character, knowing that she does some pretty not great things, not nice things. And I mean, you're eating it up. Like you can just see how delicious you find it.
My
Just every
favorite
word.
word. Mhm.
Every word.
Yes, yes, my favorite word. Delicious. Mm. Uh, there have been times, especially in scenes with Amber Michelle, who plays my daughter Eva, there have been times where after the scene, I'm like, I'm sorry. Give me a hug. Oh, that was so terrible. That's just mean. And then the first time that I kicked her out, I was just telling someone yesterday, I purposely played it with a stern, stone face because she's so angry. And I don't think anyone understands how angry Leslie was, that her own flesh and blood turned on her for the very people that they had a whole mission against. And it's like now she feels like, who can she trust if you can't trust your own daughter? And
Right.
so that was painful. So I made an actress choice. not to allow the tears that really were welling up inside of me during that scene. And I had to stop them from coming, even in my eyes, just the glassy look, because I wanted to be that like, you messed up, to make the audience think, oh no, there's no turning back. And because of that, now they think, oh, that can't be her real daughter. Who would do that to their real child? Police. Mamas kick children out all the time
Yeah.
for things less than that. But Leslie was really upset, and because Eva was the victim, and it's like, this is her baby. How could you put her out? Everyone's like, poor Eva, and I'm like, poor Eva. She stabbed me in the back.
You can tell by the way you played that scene that you were deeply hurt. And I think that choice you made to not be fully like full on hysterics
Yeah.
made it even more believable and powerful because you were choking down the hurt, and that's what it looked like. And it came
Yes.
across really powerfully on screen.
Thank you. But then there was
I'd
the
watch you read
second.
the phone book at this
Oh,
point.
I'm sorry. What'd you say?
I said I'd watch you read the phone book at this point. So
James Carnegie, 818-653. Thank you. Yeah, but there is a second time that I do kick her out. And then, that's when I allowed myself to really go there, because that's when the mom came out, because they had some time to kind of mend things. And to me, it made more sense that Leslie was a bit more emotional at that time.
yeah. And speaking of strong women, Leslie's not the only strong woman. You've had quite a life, and have overcome so many things. Does that help you play these strong, powerful women, including Dominique you know, on the BET show that you're on?
On the family
The
business,
family.
yes. Um, it does. And I was raised by a strong mother. And even though I have a relationship with my dad, he was gone from the age of 10 out of our lives, and she had to become a police officer. She had to hold it down. She took care of things, and me and my sister, and it wasn't easy back then when I was a lot younger. And I watched her go through the pain of it. So, the man women, even though I'm a man Grant now, but back then the man women were some strong ladies. Okay. My grandmother was a strong woman. And because of my trials and situations, having a son that's out there on the street right now, homeless by choice, that I have helped 100 different ways. And I don't know what else to do, because every time you reach out, then he goes back out on the street, and there's, the substance abuse and all that, and maybe mental illness, things that took me a long time to accept and come to terms with. And I've been dealing with this for 11 years. And so uh, people say, how do you stay sane? And through prayer, through believing that one day his situation will change, he'll get his life together. And I keep seeing that one day we'll be writing a book together, maybe doing a movie together about his view and my view as a mother, his view as being a homeless person out there on the street, because there's so many. And I think that maybe he will be able to go back and help others, because I'm always looking at what could be and the outcome in a positive way. And there are times when I have moments, but you have to keep going. You cannot allow circumstances of life to just stop you in your tracks
Mhm.
and stop you from moving forward. Because if I stop and he's already stopped pretty much, then what's the point? And I'm not fulfilling my purpose, and I won't be strong enough to help him fulfill his purpose one day.
That's right. And you did write a book called Amazing Testimonies, which obviously you're very close in your faith and
Yes.
with God, obviously based on that title. And for people who aren't so connected with God, it's nice to read somebody else's powerful words. Uh,
Yeah.
it's just the connections there. And I think with seeing you on screen, for people who now pick up the book, they're going to see a real different side of you and maybe not be as judgmental. But it's very
Oh,
true what you said. If you need to push through, he needs that person that keeps fighting why he can't. And I'm speaking as somebody who's very close with God and has gone through my own mental health issues. And so
Yes.
it's very important to have somebody advocating for you and fighting for you, even if it doesn't think that, if you don't think you're getting through, there's a part of you that's getting through and God's going to protect them.
Thank you. I believe and I receive, and I'm so glad that you fought through and that you are doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
So
Still,
keep
still
up.
fighting, but it's God. If God wakes me up, you got to make the effort, right?
That's right. Come on. We all have a purpose. There's some people
Right.
out there right now that don't understand that their story is still being written and it's not over, unless they just give up. And we don't have time to give up because we're not just here for ourselves. We're here to help others, even people we don't know, strangers. We're put into certain positions for that very purpose. And it's a path along the way to what we have in store for our future. So that's the way I see things. I see
Absolutely.
people as souls.
And they are. That's exactly what they are, and
Yes.
we're created as. You also do a lot of philanthropic work. That has what does that do for you in terms of the helping and the because it's not about you, it's about other people, but you get to use your platform.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so serious about platform. That's the main thing I'm always telling people. If you have the opportunity to have a platform, just like you, Brian, just like the young man Tony I talked to yesterday, you've got this platform here. What are you doing with it? Are you using it for good or are you using it for evil?
Mhm.
We don't want to do the bad. We want to make sure that we leave and drop nuggets and jewels and blessings and encouragement, and inspiration. And as corny as that may sound to somebody, when I tell you, I mean it from the bottom of my big, big toe, and my big toe is really big. And so I mean it. Like, it's like we got to drop something that somebody 5 years down the road goes, wow, I remember when Trisha said this, or I remember when Bryan said that. And because of that, I made this change. It's like, how are we impacting someone else? I don't care if it's just one person. Yes, you want it to be more. But if you can leave this world knowing you impacted someone's life for the good, because it's a domino effect, right, Bryan? It's
Yep,
like you could help one, and that one could go and help 20, and that 20 can go and help thousands.
that's
And
right.
it's all because you drop those jewels, gems, and that inspiration. And that to me all comes from the platform we have. So
Amen.
that's how I feel about it.
Amen. So do you
Yeah.
think you would write another book before you
Oh,
write one with your son?
I would truly write another book. In fact, I actually have the second book that I procrastinated on because I got super busy with Beyond the Gates, and I'm okay with
Yeah.
that. And it's almost done. But
Good.
that's something else. That's from a play that was God inspired that I wrote called Mama's Will. Now, the one with my son, I would write, and I already know what I would call it. And I actually decided, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and write my part while I'm still young enough to remember. Uh, let's just keep it real.
Yeah.
And I'll write my part. And then when I get with him, I can help him write his. This is just me standing on
Yeah.
complete faith, absolute complete faith.
Do you think you would let him read your portion before you started helping him write his?
If he wants to, if it'll help him, I don't mind. I mean, and if he says no, then fine. Let's just work on you. Let's
Yeah,
work on where it started.
that's
I know
beautiful.
when it started because the baby is, let me tell you, he's a writer, a producer. I call him a baby, but he'll be 30 on July the 1st. He's a writer, a producer, a director, an actor. And when I tell you he won 9 awards before his life took a turn on the left. And then he moved into a house with a bunch of guys, but he didn't know them, and they were doing a lot of drugs. And that's where it began.
It
So if
only
there's I'm go ahead. No, go ahead.
it only takes one little twist of the enemy to
Yeah,
ruin the whole
he was
thing.
doing great. At the age of 18, he was working, going to school, had his own car, directing films, uh, had a little girlfriend. He's just
Yeah.
he had it going on. I was just like, I'm so proud of my baby. Then he moves out, which I was happy about because I didn't mind being an empty nester. My daughter was still there, but she moved out after high school. And he moved out, and I was like, okay, you go. But then, unfortunately, the circumstances were not good. And that's why we have to be our own person. That's why we have to be strong enough to say no to things that we know can potentially destroy our lives, our bodies, our mindset. He didn't have that strength, unfortunately. I guess the peer pressure got to him.
Yeah.
So,
And
yeah,
that strength is down there somewhere. He just has to let the light in and feel it and let it out.
I believe that.
I believe you will get it out of him too.
That's right. We're going to get it out of him, Brian.
Now, Beyond the Gates obviously has been groundbreaking, just in so far as having it be mostly led by an African American cast in daytime is a very, they did it once or twice before with not as much success. You guys went gangbusters and got renewed very quickly, which is amazing.
Yes. Yes, I felt good about it. I have felt good about this show since day one. When we all came together, was it October 31st or November 1st? Everyone came together, the CBS execs, all the producers, Sheila Ducksworth, uh, oh Lord, Nadine, Sonia, Julie Carruthers, everybody came together and the cast, the crew, and it was like one big happy family. Everyone was just, you could tell they were just happy to have this greenlit, to have this future opportunity that we were all coming into together. And it still is like a family. And that's what I love about this show. Even the other one that I work on, the family business, I'm so grateful to work on two productions where everyone really, truly, sincerely is caring for each other,
And
you
you've
know.
got some soap alums on that show. Valerie Pettiford used to be on One Life
Oh,
to Live and is now on Y&R.
I
And
love
John
her.
Ringgold was on One Life to Live as well.
Yes. No, I love that lady is like a ball of sunshine. Every time you see her, bye babe, be safe. I'm sorry, my hubby is leaving. um, every time you see Valerie, she's just so loving and warm, and it's not an act. Because I'll be honest, the first time I met her, I was like suspect. I'm looking at her all sided. I was looking at her like Leslie would look at her like, mm-hmm. Oh, that sweetness. But then people say the same thing about me, like you're sweet and all that. And but I've had people also look at me with the side eye, like,
Yeah,
she not that nice for real. And until they get to know me. But
yeah.
as I got to know Valerie, I was just like, my God, this woman is amazing. So yeah.
Well, I hope this was one of the first of many conversations. I feel I could talk to you for an hour.
Oh, you could. Trust me. Just a whole hour and a half. I hate that we have to get off so soon. So when are we
Yeah,
getting back together so we
we
can
will
talk
get
more
back
about the
together.
show?
I would love to. I would love to. It
Okay.
has been a real pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brian. You be
You're
blessed.
welcome. You be blessed as well.
Okay.